In just 57 years, the famed author Agatha Christie published over 70 mystery novels and short stories. That means that she wrote about 1.5 full-length, well-thought-out, and thrilling mysteries every single year. It's been less than 10 years since gymnast Simone Biles made her Olympic debut, but she's already won 11 Olympic medals and published 2 memoirs about her experiences. By the time actor Emma Watson was 21, she had already starred in multiple blockbuster hits, won several acting awards, and secured her reputation as a world-renowned women's rights activist. Now, you might be wondering, what's the connection between all of these ambitious and accomplished women? Well, Agatha Christie, Simone Biles, Emma Watson, and countless other successful women are what we call neurodivergent. Neurodivergent is a term that refers to people whose brains work differently than what our world considers normal. If you haven't heard of this term, then you've probably at least heard of the different types of neurodivergence, like ADHD, autism, dyslexia, and more. All of these types of neurodivergence can affect every part of a person's life, from how they think, behave, socialize, and communicate. Take ADHD, for example. This is something that I have in common with Agatha Christie, Simone Biles, and Emma Watson. When I was growing up, the only people I knew with ADHD were hyperactive boys who couldn't sit still. I never thought I could have it because I was a good student. I got top grades and was considered well-behaved. But in reality, I was still struggling. It's just that nobody noticed because I was academically and behaviorally successful. It wasn't until I grew up and started meeting other neurodivergent women that I began to wonder if I could be neurodivergent too. A thorough round of testing back in 2020 confirmed that I am indeed a part of the club. Suddenly, many different parts of my life started to make sense, like why I always loved to start writing stories but could never focus long enough to finish them, or why I tend to ramble on and on when discussing things I'm talking about. I mean, look at me, I'm literally giving a TED Talk right now. But my experiences as a neurodivergent woman are all too common. Many neurodivergent girls grow up feeling constantly misunderstood and criticized because there's just no explanation for why they are the way that they are. Neurodivergent research tends to focus on men, and standard symptoms are based on male behavior. In fact, research shows that by age 12, neurodivergent children hear up to 20,000 more negative comments about their behavior than their neurotypical peers. It's no wonder then that many neurodivergent girls grow up to be neurodivergent women who doubt their own voices. I witnessed the effects of this self-doubt when I was in college working as a writing and public speaking tutor. Each week, I'd meet with students to help them work on their writing and public speaking, and while many students thought that their writing could be improved, there was one particular type of student who almost always apologized for their bad writing. It was neurodivergent women. But more often than not, I'd read their speeches and think, her writing actually makes a lot of sense to me. I wonder why she's so insecure about her ideas. It wasn't until I grew up and was diagnosed with ADHD that I began to reflect on my time as a writing tutor, and I realized that the way many of us are taught to express ourselves is not very neurodivergent friendly. For example, many of the students that I worked with were being graded just as heavily on their writing process, like their outline or their literature review, as they were being graded on their final product. But many neurodivergent women can't easily follow these processes and are then criticized for it. These rigid, traditional teaching methods can amplify self-doubt, making it even harder for us to share our unique perspectives. In short, they can rob us of truly stellar work from neurodivergent women. To fix this dilemma, I've often encouraged students to use a method that I use myself, to just start writing whatever comes to mind first and then create a reverse outline. This approach works because it gets all of your ideas onto the paper in a judgment-free way, and then all you have to do is go back and edit it. This method has worked for countless neurodivergent clients, particularly women, because it aligns with how our brains actually work. And this reverse outline method is just one small example of embracing neurodivergent processes for communicating. I'm not saying we have to throw out all the conventional methods because, after all, they do work for a lot of people. But I am saying that we need to learn to embrace other ways of learning and doing. When it comes to sharing our ideas, our deepest selves, there is no one-size-fits-all approach. We're all too unique for that. Embracing neurodivergent forms of communication can extend to other parts of our academic and professional lives as well. It can look like allowing fidget toys in the classroom or even the boardroom. It can look like allowing people to speak up, even if they have trouble maintaining eye contact with their audience. It can look like allowing students to participate in classroom discussions through speech or writing. However you decide to make your home, workplace, or classroom more inclusive, I think it's time we start thinking about what we would lose if we didn't accept neurodivergent people, particularly women, and their unique way of communicating. Imagine if Agatha Christie never put pen to paper because she was so insecure about her writing process. Imagine if Simone Biles never shared her powerful and inspiring memoirs, or if Emma Watson never auditioned to bring Hermione Granger to life. My challenge to you is to acknowledge and embrace the unique processes that neurodivergent women adopt so that they can be brilliant. I already know that there are women in the audience today who represent the next generation of neurodivergent brilliance. But what would we lose if we never heard their voices because we were so tied to one particular methodology? And more importantly, what would we gain if we made the space for their voices to be celebrated? Thank you.